1959, Berry Gordy borrowed $800 from his family, not a record deal, not a publishing contract, not an investor. $800 from his own family and a two-story house on West Grand Boulevard in Detroit that used to be a photography studio. He called it Hitsville USA. What he built inside that building would change American music forever. He took kids from the housing projects, kids from church choirs and street corners, kids from the East Side who had never left Detroit. He looked at them and saw something nobody else could see. And then he turned them into the biggest names in the world. 7 of those stories start tonight. Number 7, Smokey Robinson.
Pretty soon you'll take a ride. And then
before there was Motown, there was Smokey Robinson.
there's still some things that you don't understand now.
William Smokey Robinson Jr. was 16 years old when he met Berry Gordy for the first time in 1957.
She said, just because you become a young man now.
He was the lead singer of a Detroit doo-wop group called the Matadors. 5 teenagers from the north end of Detroit who had been performing at school talent shows and neighborhood events.
Your freedom for as long as you can now.
Gordy wasn't looking for a group that day. He was just listening. But when he heard Smokey sing, everything changed. Gordy later said Smokey was the most naturally gifted songwriter he had ever met in his life. He started coaching him immediately, not just on singing, but on writing, structuring a song, telling a story in 3 minutes.
Pretty soon you'll take a ride. And then
He told Smokey to carry a notepad everywhere. He told him to write down anything that felt true.
my mama told me you better shop around.
When Gordy founded Motown in 1959, our Smokey and the Matadors, now renamed the Miracles, were his first signing.
Before you tell them that you love them so now.
Their first big hit, Shop Around, came in 1960. Here's the story behind it that most people don't know.
Before you ask some girl for a hand now.
Gordy had already released an earlier version of the song. At 2 in the morning, he called every member of the group and told them to get to the studio immediately.
My mama told me you better shop around.
They came in half asleep. Gordy had rearranged the entire song. New tempo, new feel. They recorded it on the spot, in the middle of the night. That version became Motown's first million-selling record. Number 1 on the R&B chart. Number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100.
And then she said, just because you become a young.
Smokey Robinson was 20 years old. He would go on to become Motown's vice president, the only artist in the building to hold a corporate title. A Berry Gordy later said, Smokey Robinson is the greatest living poet in America. That's not a quote from a music journalist. That's what Bob Dylan said. Number 6, Diana Ross. Diana Ross grew up in the Brewster Douglas housing projects in Detroit's East Side. Her family had almost nothing. But she had a voice and a presence that stopped people when she walked into a room.
All by myself.
At 15, she was singing with 2 friends. Florence Ballard, and Mary Wilson in a group called the Primettes. They auditioned for Berry Gordy in 1960. He turned them down. He told them to come back when they finished high school. So they did. They graduated and came straight back to Hitsville. Gordy signed them. He renamed them the Supremes. In the beginning, nothing worked. 8 singles, 0 hits. Gordy's own staff called them the No-Hit Supremes. Then Holland Dozier Holland wrote Where Did Our Love Go? And brought it to Gordy in 1964. The Supremes weren't even the first choice for the song. The Marvelettes turned it down. The Supremes recorded it in a single session. It went to #1 in August 1964.
And it hurt so bad.
What followed was one of the most extraordinary chart runs in the history of American pop music.
Deep inside.
The Supremes had 12 #1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100. 12. They performed at the Copacabana in New York, the first R&B act ever to play there, and they sold it out every single night. Diana Ross, the girl from the Brewster Projects, became the most successful female recording artist in Motown history. Berry Gordy later said signing Diana Ross was the single greatest decision I ever made.
All by myself.
Listen, 90% of you watching right now aren't subscribed yet. If these stories are blowing your mind, imagine what you're missing. Hit subscribe, turn on that bell, and join the 200,000 R&B fans who never miss a Groove Lens upload.
Number 5. Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye arrived at Motown in 1961 carrying a suitcase and a demo tape. He was 22 years old. He had grown up in Washington, D.C. The son of a Pentecostal minister who was, by most accounts, a brutal and controlling man. Music was Marvin's escape, and Detroit was as far as he could get. He came to Motown not as a discovered talent, but as a session drummer. That's what he told Berry Gordy he was, a drummer. He spent his first weeks at Hitsville playing drums on other people's records. Then one afternoon, when nobody was watching, he sat down at the piano in Studio A and started singing. Berry Gordy heard it from the hallway. He walked in. He sat down. He listened to Marvin sing for 20 minutes without saying a word.
My emotions, I won't stop.
Then he said, "You're not a drummer, you're a singer. Or you're my singer."
And devotion, deeply touching.
Marvin Gaye's first hit, Stubborn Kind of Fellow, came in 1962. But it was How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You in 1964 that introduced America to exactly who this man was. Warm, elegant, effortless.
Was just a boy.
He went on to record some of the most important music of the 20th century, including What's Going On, now ranked by Rolling Stone as the greatest album of all time. Gordy's eulogy at Marvin's funeral in 1984 ended with these words: "Marvin Gaye was the greatest of his time." He wasn't wrong.
Tell the truth, babe.
Number 4, The Temptations.
On a cloudy day.
The Temptations did not arrive at Motown together. They arrived as 2 separate groups, and Berry Gordy merged them.
My girl, my girl, my girl.
The first group was the Primes, 3 men from Alabama: Eddie Kendricks, Paul Williams, and Kel Osborne. The second was the Distance, from Detroit: Otis Williams, Melvin Franklin, and Elbridge Bryant. Gordy put them together in 1961 and called them the Elgins, then the Temptations. In the beginning, they failed too. 8 singles released, 8 flops. Critics at Motown called them the Tempting Temptations because they were tempting to drop. Then Smokey Robinson wrote My Girl for them in 1964 as a gift to David Ruffin, who had just joined the group, specifically so Ruffin could demonstrate what his voice could do. On the day they recorded it, a guitarist, Robert White, improvised the famous opening riff in the studio while walking around laughing, thinking it was too simple to use. Smokey Robinson stopped the rehearsal. He told them, "That stays." My Girl hit number 1 on March 6, 1965. It was the Temptations' first number 1 and one of the most beloved recordings in American music history. Rolling Stone ranked it number 43 on the list of the greatest songs ever made. 5 boys, 2 states, 1 group. Berry Gordy saw what they could be before any of them did. Number 3, the 4 Tops. The 4 Tops were not discovered by Berry Gordy. They discovered themselves. Levi Stubbs, Abdul Duke Fakir, Ronaldo Obi Benson, and Lawrence Payton met at a party in Detroit in 1953 when they were all teenagers. They started singing together in someone's living room just for fun. Nobody told them to do it. Nobody was paying them. It was 4 kids from Detroit who liked the sound they made together. Within a year, they had formed a group. They stayed together. The same 4 men, no lineup changes for over 40 years. No replacements, no departures, no drama. The same 4 voices, from a Detroit living room in 1953 to sold-out arenas around the world decades later. That kind of loyalty is almost impossible in popular music. It does not happen, except it did with them. They signed with Chess Records in Chicago. Nothing. They signed with Columbia Records. Nothing. 2 major labels, 0 hits. Most groups would have given up. Then in 1963, Berry Gordy signed them to Motown. And again, nothing for 2 full years. Gordy kept them in the building anyway. He kept pairing them with Holland Dozier Holland, his greatest songwriting team. He kept telling everyone in the building the hit was coming. It came in 1965. I Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie Honey Bunch, was recorded in a single afternoon. Levi Stubbs walked into the vocal booth and in 3 takes, just 3, delivered one of the most urgent, desperate, powerful lead vocals ever committed to tape. The song reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and held that position for 2 weeks. It was followed within months by It's the Same Old Song and then by Reach Out, I'll Be There, which hit #1 in 1966. 3 #1s in less than 2 years. From a group 2 other major labels had already decided had no commercial future. Gordy saw what Chess and Columbia missed. He held on when everyone else would have walked away. And Levi Stubbs' voice on those records, raw and aching and completely without pretense, is still considered one of the greatest vocal instruments ever recorded. Number 2, Stevie Wonder. Berry Gordy had a rule about signing children. He had done it once with a girl group, and it had been a headache. He was not going to do it again. Then Ronnie White of the Miracles called him. He said, "Berry, you need to come hear this kid." Gordy said no. White brought the kid anyway. Stevland Hardaway Judkins was 11 years old. He was blind from birth. He had taught himself piano, harmonica, and drums before he was 10 years old. He walked into Hitsville and played 3 instruments before anyone could stop him. Gordy sat there in silence. Then he said, "Boy, that kid is a wonder." And that became his name. Motown's marketing chief, Barney Ailes, was skeptical. He told Gordy, "He's certainly talented, but is he going to sell?"
Come on, now everybody sing yeah!
The answer came in 1963 at a live show in Chicago. Stevie's harmonica-driven Fingertips Part 2 was recorded live from the audience with a spontaneous encore that caught the replacement bass player completely off guard. You can hear the bassist shout on the record, "What key? What key?" The live recording was released as a single. It went to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Stevie Wonder, at 13 years old, became the youngest artist in history to top the chart. Simultaneously, #1 on the pop chart and #1 on the R&B chart.
Yeah, everybody had a good time.
The first time that had ever happened. Gordy had overruled his own rules because talent that obvious doesn't wait for rules. Number 1, the Jackson 5, Michael By 1968, Berry Gordy had a firm policy. He was done signing children. He had done it with Stevie Wonder. He had the scars from the contracts, the guardian agreements, the school schedules, the parents. He was finished. Then Gladys Knight, already a Motown star, called his office after watching 5 brothers from Gary, Indiana, dismantle the Apollo Theater in Harlem in front of a crowd that had not come to see them. She said, "You have to see these kids. I have never seen anything like it." A Motown producer named Bobby Taylor brought the Jacksons to Hitsville in the summer of 1968. Gordy didn't show up to the audition. He sent a camera crew and told them to film everything. That night, he watched the tape alone. In the footage, 10-year-old Michael Jackson sang Smokey Robinson's "Who's Lovin' You?", a slow, devastating heartbreak ballad written from deep inside adult grief. Michael Jackson was 10 years old. He had never experienced anything remotely like what that song was about. But the way he sang it made Berry Gordy sit forward in his chair and not move. He signed the Jackson 5 on March 11th, 1969. Then he did something calculated and brilliant. He threw a press party at Diana Ross's Beverly Hills home and told every journalist in the room that Diana Ross had personally discovered the group. That story was not true. Gordy knew it, Ross knew it, but Gordy also knew that Diana Ross Discovers 5 Kids would be on every television news broadcast in America by morning. He was right. I Want You Back was released October 7th, 1969. It hit number 1 on January 31st, 1970. It was followed by ABC, number 1. Then The Love You Save, number 1. Then I'll Be There, number 1. 4 consecutive number 1s from their first 4 charted singles. No act in the history of American pop music had ever done that. At Michael Jackson's memorial in 2009, Berry Gordy stood in front of the most famous gathering of people in Los Angeles that year, and he said, "Michael Jackson was the greatest entertainer who ever lived." With everything Gordy had built, Smokey, Diana, Marvin, Stevie, that is the sentence he chose. $800, a 2-story house on West Grand Boulevard, a converted photography studio in the back that he wired for sound and called Studio A. That's all it started with. And from those walls came Smokey Robinson, Diana Ross, Marvin Gaye, The Temptations, The Four Tops, Stevie Wonder, the Jackson 5. No other label in the history of recorded music produced that concentration of genius from one city in one generation. Berry Gordy saw something in those kids that no one else could see, and he built a machine around what he found that changed American music forever. If this story moved you, like, subscribe, and share it. because this is where the music came from.